Okay, today we're trying out the COMICA Directional Condenser Shotgun Video Microphone for smartphones, CVM-VS08, and I'll be using it with my Droid Turbo 2. The nice thing about this one is that it's simplicity. It doesn't have a whole lot of moving parts because you're going to use it on your smartphone, and that's what you want, is good sound and simplicity. It's got a nice massive windscreen. The parts: the foam cover for the microphone, the shotgun cardioid microphone, which looks pretty much like the same unit that they use on the DSLRs, except this one's been adapted for easy use on a smartphone. So all you really do with this is snap the support on the barrel behind the microphone here, and simply plug the microphone into the 3.5 millimeter plug on your phone, and then rotate this little support down there, and then adjust the position of the support, and that way you've got a nice firm attachment. Your microphone won't, you don't want the microphone moving around while you're shooting video, so in that case it's pretty firm. So I'm using a Droid Turbo 2, as I mentioned. So on the Droid Turbo 2, you're going to want to use a third-party camera app like Open Camera. So I'm using Open Camera here now, and you want to set to your external mic if present, so that you're actually recording with your external mic and not the mic that came with it. The one thing about this microphone, of course, is designed to fit all sorts of smartphones, and each smartphone is going to be different. On my Droid Turbo 2, which is a fairly large smartphone, you can see when it's in the straight ahead position, you can see a slight shadow from the microphone there because the camera is right here and the microphone is here. It's going to depend on your phone, but in a number of phones, probably particularly Droid Motorola phones, might have that with, but all you have to do is rotate it just slightly to lose the, if you watch there, you'll see the little shadow goes away right there. So the shadow goes away with the microphone just tilted about 10 degrees from horizontal. When you put the microphone cover on, it's going to, again, you adjust it to where you got a clear view there, and it's a little bit more of a tilt. Now, one of the things you can do is trim this little, I mean, the nice thing is you got a nice generous microphone cover and a nice generous wind cover. But in particular, when you put the wind cover on, and typically with COMICA, the wind cover is large and ample and well made. Now you're going to have a serious problem with the wind cover on this particular phone straight ahead, and there's no amount of turning that's going to clear it up. And you don't want to turn it too much, because the whole idea of having a shotgun mic is you want it generally facing in the way of your subject. So probably what I would propose on this mic is taking a pair of scissors and doing some serious trimming on the side that's right in here. I'll try that and show it later. Most COMICA products I've worked with, I like the fit and finish. You can see it's a quality aluminum material, and I'll do some testing outdoors and also some recording of it. But the nice thing about this mic is it comes with simple. I mean, it's light, it's simple. You can shoot it handheld, or in a lot of cases, I'll use probably a selfie stick, and you can also use a handle, or you can use a tripod adapter for a smartphone. Okay, I've done some testing with the microphone cover, because on my particular camera, and it really depends on your camera, the microphone port where you plug in the microphone is very close to the camera, and cell phone cameras by default are pretty wide angle. So you can do a couple of things. You can experiment with cutting off a little bit of the microphone, or in this case, you could zoom out. See there, zoom full in, you can see the shadow of the microphone. But at this one, with the full uncut microphone, I zoom into about 1.45 or so, you can remove the microphone. So there's a couple of ways to try and deal with the shadow of the microphone cover on the phone. I mean, what you're after, of course, on this kind of setup with your phone is the simplicity of getting good video on your phone without a lot of extra attachments, tripods, and cables and things like that. You just plug it in and you're good to go. But you're going to have to, no matter, depending on how your phone is set up, you're going to have to deal with the microphone. Now, in the case of the windsock, the uncut windsock, of course, it's going to block a good portion of your screen. So what you're probably going to have to do is experiment with your individual camera and a combination of cutting off, for example, this side of the fur, or a combination of that and zooming. You can kind of experiment with your given camera. But I don't think with all this expansive microphone that cutting a little bit on the side here to clear the screen is going to hurt much. So now we'll go outside and test it out. And I suspect that the sound quality will be very similar to the shotgun mic on the DSLR system. Windy day, Mrs. Owl. Happening, Mrs. Owl. I don't want to bother you too much. Trying out a new microphone, dude. I know it looks like it's some kind of squirrel over there or something. It's an extremely windy day out today. So it'll be interesting to see what it sounds like. I've given the wind muff a haircut on the side next to the camera, and I've zoomed in a little bit to get the wind muff out of the frame. Of course, I'm talking from behind the microphone, so it's not. Okay, let's do a basic voice recording test like you would do if you were interviewing somebody. I'm sitting in a chair approximately 3 feet in front of the smartphone with the COMICA microphone attached, and we'll talk about the breeding habits of the eastern screech owl. Their breeding habit is deciduous or mixed woods in eastern North America. Usually solitary, they nest in a tree cavity, either natural or excavated by a woodpecker. Holes must have a 7 to 20 centimeter entrance to accommodate this owl. Usually they fit only in the holes excavated by northern flickers or pileated woodpeckers, as the mid-sized red-bellied woodpecker makes holes that are not large enough to accommodate them. Eastern screech owls also use nesting boxes erected by humans. Although some people put up nest boxes meant for screech owls, the owls also take over other nest boxes meant for others, such as for wood ducks. There you go.